Hello friends, so I was reading about the Crusades yesterday and came upon this individual, Hasan-i Sabah, who seemed to be quite a fascinating character. He lived in the early Middle Ages, in what is today Iran, and he was kind of a Renaissance man, before the Renaissance was even a thing. He was apparently quite a gifted mathematician, astronomer, and philosopher, specializing in epistemology, the study of knowledge. At the same time, he was a religious and military leader, and founded his own sect within the Nizari Ismailism, a branch of Shia Islam. He and his followers were known as Fidain, derived from the Arabic word fida, or sacrifice, because they were ready to die for their cause, in this case, their faith in God. Hasan-i Sabah preached an ascetic and austere lifestyle filled with reading, learning, and praying. So it seems that he would be considered, in the Middle Ages, and perhaps even by modern standards, a man of principle, with all the qualities of a virtuous and benevolent leader, and yet he was an assassin. In fact, that was literally the name of the sect that he founded, the Order of Assassins, based on asas, the Arabic word for foundation, and so members of this order were so named because they were faithful to the foundation of the faith, or faithful to the asas. So originally, being an assassin meant simply that you were a resident of the mountains of Persia and the Levant, where the Order of Assassins was based, and that you dedicated your entire life to faith and protecting it. Seems pretty harmless. Well, there was another thing that assassins did, as you might guess. They had a strict policy that all enemies of the Ismaili state, whether they be Muslim or Christian or anyone else, be executed, and that it was the duty of the Fidain within the Order of the Assassins to carry out such an execution, using a variety of means. For example, a nerve agent, a bow and arrow, but most often just a good old-fashioned stab in the back with a knife or dagger, or really whatever gets the job done. And so, during the 12th and 13th centuries, so basically throughout the Crusader Era, the assassins wreaked havoc on their perceived enemies in the region, killing hundreds of Christian and Muslim leaders in the process. For example, in April 1192, a couple Fidain from the order came from behind and stabbed Conrad of Montferrat, the uncrowned king of Jerusalem, one of the four Crusader states. He later died from his wounds. But it wasn't just Christian kings who fell victim to their attacks. Saladin, a sultan who led the Muslim military campaigns against the Crusader states, was almost assassinated twice by them. Oh, and they also murdered 3 caliphs from neighboring regions. So yeah, for these exploits, they became famous and feared throughout the region. Now, to be clear, there's another, perhaps more amusing origin story for the word assassin that I should also mention. So, as you can imagine, due to their brutal tactics, over time, the assassins gained quite a negative reputation from their adversaries, at least from those that they weren't able to eliminate. These adversaries derogatorily called them hashishin, or drug-using outcasts, derived from hashish, which many of us might recognize, and also at times smoke. Now, there's no evidence that any of the assassins actually smoked hashish, and especially not the ascetic Hasan-i Sabah, their founder. But nonetheless, over the years, and as the assassins made more enemies, the name hashishin became more common to describe the order than the original name. And so, by the time Marco Polo visited the region in the late 13th century, he heard the stories of some of these assassins, including the rumor that their name was derived from hashish, so he brought the word assassin back west with him, where its use spread, and over the next few centuries, the prevailing origin story was that the word was derived from hashishin, or hashish users, who, as the story goes, did a lot of drugs and then went on a mission to kill high-profile people. So yeah, that's a pretty common origin story, grounded in centuries of oral tradition, but from what I understand, it's incorrect. But only in the last couple centuries did the scholarly consensus realize this, and it's now generally agreed that the correct origin story is the one linking assassin, as we use it today, to the Arabic plural noun assassin, which denoted a group of individuals, like the followers of Hasan-i Sabah, who were faithful to the foundation of their faith, and who would go to great lengths to eliminate those who stand against their principles. And of course, this makes sense. After all, I imagine that carefully plotting to end the life of a political adversary and actually carrying out the act takes a lot of focus and determination, so I feel like the assassins wouldn't have been able to take out nearly as many of their targets had they been high the whole time, right? In any case, thanks for watching.